I never imagined my marriage would end like this. But then again, no one ever does. My name's Ethan. I'm 38, and I spent 12 years married to a woman I once believed was my forever. When Claire and I met in college, she was a storm, laughing at everything, reckless, alive in a way that made you want to chase her. I was the quiet one, steady, the guy who showed up, who fixed things, who kept promises. She told me that grounded her, made her feel safe. And for 7 years it did. We had that silent, effortless spark. Coffee waiting for me every morning. A midday text that simply said, "Thinking of you." Her hand finding mine in a crowded theater like it belonged there. But love doesn't usually die in a single moment. It erodes. Slowly. Quietly. She listened less. Smiled less. Drifted more. I'd come home and talk, and she'd nod without hearing a word. Eyes glued to her phone. Laughing at messages I wasn't part of. I blamed work, stress, life. I excused it all because that's what patient people do. And I was patient, painfully patient. But everyone has a breaking point. Mine arrived on an ordinary Thursday. I walked into the kitchen and saw that smile on her face, the one she used to save for me, aimed at a screen instead. Her fine. When I asked about her day was cold, automatic. Something inside me twisted, but I smothered it. Then came the messages. And the truth I had been too loyal, too hopeful to see. She cheated. Pushed into it by someone she trusted, Melissa. Her friend who always seemed a little too invested in our problems. Shock hit me first, like the ground dropping out from under my feet. Then fury. Then clarity. I had been patient to the point of self-betrayal. And I wasn't doing that anymore. The next morning I didn't scream or confront or crumble. I acted. I froze joint accounts. Canceled subscriptions. Removed her access to every comfort she had blindly depended on. And I stayed silent. Silence is underestimated. People think power is loud. It isn't. It's calm. Controlled. Calculated. I watched her routine crumble piece by piece. The tension grew. Her confidence shrank. But I never raised my voice. Not once. Every ignored text. Every unanswered knock. Every quiet, steady stare. All of it taught her what she never thought she'd have to learn. Actions have consequences. She tried to provoke arguments, desperate to get a reaction out of me. "Ethan, why are you acting like this? You're being ridiculous." But I didn't move. I didn't flinch. I let her words fall flat against the wall of my calm. Her phone buzzed with frantic messages to Melissa. Panic replaced arrogance. Control slipped through her fingers like sand. By the weekend, she felt the full weight of what she'd done. Every locked account. Every revoked privilege. Every silent reminder that she no longer held any power over me. She tried negotiation next. Manipulation. Charm. Accusations. "Can't we talk about this?" she begged. I simply shook my head. There was nothing to talk about. Trust doesn't rebuild itself. Respect doesn't regenerate. And betrayal, deliberate, intentional betrayal, carries a price. Then Melissa called, trying to mediate. I listened. Then calmly explained the truth she hadn't expected. Manipulation has consequences. She hung up speechless. By the end of the month, Claire finally broke through the denial. She looked at me, not with defiance but with fear. The realization had finally sunk in. I wasn't the man she could bend, shape, guilt, or charm anymore. I wasn't angry. I wasn't cruel. I was untouchable. And that terrified her. Eventually she packed her bags. No dramatic goodbye. No last speech. Just quiet defeat. When the door clicked shut, something lifted off my chest. An invisible weight I'd carried for years without noticing. Freedom doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it's the quiet reclaiming of your dignity. The silent refusal to be diminished ever again. I sat in the living room afterward, the house finally calm. Finally mine. Pain doesn't define you. Your response does. And in the stillness of that moment I realized, revenge doesn't have to burn. Sometimes it simply doesn't blink.